Hey everybody, my name is Drew Larison, and welcome to the newest show here on the Kokomo Post, which we're calling the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. You know, somebody had to do it, and we're glad that we're the people that are going to make it happen for you today. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you what we refer to him as MTM, but it's Mayor Tyler Moore of Kokomo. How are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
I'm well, Drew. Thank you very much. Thanks for making this happen.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, somebody had to
be done. Yeah,
it was too good. We checked with legal. We're not going to get sued by whoever owns the mayor or the Mary Tyler Moore Show. You can't sue me just because it rhymes,
right? And I haven't seen any memes, so
exactly. So here we are. We wanted to make this show, and you and I, we've talked about this for a while. You guys don't know this. We've actually filmed another episode that was a test episode. Mm-hmm. It went well, so we're like, let's do this thing. So here we are. But the reason this show exists, the reason why we wanted to do this show is we wanted to put some piece of content out there that kind of shows the human side of the mayor of Kokomo. We wanted to, everybody sees you in fancy suits, looking sharp today, by the way.
Thank you. It's all about
they see that, they see the office in City Hall, but like, I don't know, I've got to know you more over the last few years that you've been in office, and you're a great guy. Past all the mayoral and municipality things, you're a great guy. You're a funny guy. You like to have fun. You like to entertain. So that's what I want to do with this show, is really show the human side of the mayor of Kokomo.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
yes, and that's part of the compliments that I receive on the third floor is that, holy cow, I mean, he's
a person,
like real, and you're sometimes an idiot, and you're sometimes fun, and you like to have fun, and people that come up, and whether they're banging on the counter or not, and they get the opportunity to see the mayor, they're like, I've never been in the mayor's office before, so this is great. Thank you for the opportunity to visit and hear me, and so get to know everybody.
Here we are. So, I mean, this show is going to be full of, definitely things, what's going on at City Hall, which we'll talk about that in a minute. We've got some other fun segments that we're going to talk about, but really just a weekly show coming out every Tuesday of just a quick wrap of what's going on in Kokomo, what's going on in the mayor's mind, talk about some maybe fun pop culture things happening in the world, as well as like the big things happening in the city, and just getting your opinion on it. And it's cool. So, I mean, if you guys are watching this, thank you for watching this video.
Yes, thank you.
This is going to be, a longer form video show that we're going to put out weekly. But if you are a podcast person, this is also going to be available in audio format, so you can listen to the Mayor Tyler Moore Show as a podcast on Apple and Spotify too. But we're going to do a lot of fun things with this show. But like, what are you most excited about with this? Because like I said, we've talked about this for a while now. But I texted you, I think last week. I'm like, I'm really getting excited. I'm excited about filming this. I'm excited about getting this out because nobody else is doing something like this, and I think it's an exciting thing to do. And when I say nobody, not just in Kokomo, I mean mayors in general. I feel like nobody has like this type of show with their mayor that I know of. Mm-hmm. So we're unique, which we like being unique here at the Kokomo Post and doing things that other people don't do. So, but what are you most excited about when it comes to the show?
Well, just like you said, the opportunity to allow folks that don't have the time to make it to City Hall or don't make it to the events and have that chance to see, meet, talk to, discuss things with me. It's another opportunity to do just that, to get in front of the constituents, get in front of the citizens of Kokomo, to let them know that I am real. I'm a man. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a person. Self-proclaimed geeks, not as high a geek status as others, but
you're pretty high up there. We'll get into that.
I have fun. Yes. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think that's probably the main excitement that I share with you in this is just that opportunity to allow folks to get to know me.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're really excited. So let's get into it. The first thing I always want to cover on this show every week is what's going on at City Hall this week. Because City Hall sometimes is this big mystery of a building downtown, and that unless you have a parking ticket or maybe paying your wastewater bill in person, or you're in trouble with the police, it's really never a place you go. So, I mean, it's this big mysterious building, but there's a lot of great stuff that happens in City Hall. So, I mean, tell us what is the buzz of the hallways of City Hall this week? What's going on in Kokomo this week?
Well, with it being the month of May, it seems like every organization or group honors their members or workers, service providers in that particular group. And so the last couple of weeks have been full of fulfilling requests for proclamations. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. This week is National Police Officer Week. I think last week was National Firefighter Week. We've got service providers, so the folks at Bona Vista and United Way and those as well. I mean, so everybody's we love honoring our mothers, but because so many others provide the care that mothers do, apparently May is a popular month for that.
There's a lot going on in May.
Yep.
Because it was also Teacher Appreciation Week.
Teachers
and nurses, I feel like, last week.
Yep.
I saw there was this meme. I thought it was funny. If you're in a profession where they make you a national week for you, that's a sign that you don't get paid enough, which with teachers is absolutely true, as I have a kid in elementary school these days. But so much going on. All these like holidays and national weeks that, happen. Yep. A lot of those happening in May.
So outside of that, just day-to-day planning, making sure things are running well, not just within City Hall, but in the various departments, because as many folks know, street department is over on Boulevard, wastewater is over on Markland. We've got fire departments, scattered throughout the community as well.
Yeah.
Parks department headquartered in Highland, but have couple dozen or so or more parks to deal with them, and so they're scattered all over. So getting in touch with the department heads, getting them connected to make sure wastewater is talking to street, because if there's improvements going on the streets, a lot of times there's the sewer grates and
all that fun stuff.
That they's got to make sure that they're coordinated. Parks department kind of the same way, if they're out navigating the trails and such, just to
let's talk about
everybody connected.
The parks department, which is we're coming into like their season, right?
Yes.
Like where they shine is like spring and summer and all the great events that happen in Kokomo. I'm excited. We've talked about this a little bit on the side off camera, but like the Jackrabbits are back.
They are
this
back.
summer.
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. I know they're starting to sell season tickets. We've been called to see if we want to host a player, because we did that not last year, because 2 years ago, because there wasn't a season last year. But like Jackrabbits are coming back. Talk to me about Kokomo Municipal Stadium, though, because that place is freaking gorgeous.
That has become quite the gem. Yes. I mean, I know there was a lot of controversy around it when it put in, and kudos to Mayor Goodnight and the previous administration, city council and such for making that happen and become a reality, because we really have benefited from it. Not only having the Jackrabbits make it their home field, but I mean, just the multiple uses that is for, non-for-profits have fundraisers there. We're allowing, they have the adult kickball league.
Oh, yeah. That's a fall thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Kokomo High School is using it as their home field. The Indiana University of Kokomo Cougars use it as their home field.
Which they've got a great team.
The Cougars women's soccer team use it as their home field. I mean, so it's obviously being well used and well loved by everybody. Last year, despite COVID, we did the first movie with the mayor event, Labor Day weekend. I tell people I don't like playing the mayor card, but when my birthday fell on a First Friday event, I went ahead and played it and said, I want a movie in Municipal Stadium. Went over well. I think we're going to do that again. But I mean, just being able to work with Jackrabbits to utilize that. I know we've talked to the Symphony. Symphony may have a concert down there.
Very cool.
T.A. Weber and Weber Speakers that's doing our summer concert series. We're looking at maybe a bigger act to bring in there.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I think that place, I think some of the coolest concerts I've seen, summertime hits, and I immediately think of Dave Matthews Band for some reason. I grew up going to the shows down in Noblesville, but like Dave is such a summer band to me. And years ago, Dave played a show at Fenway Park in Boston, and it was one of the most iconic concerts. I think many other people have played at Fenway since, but like I would love to see a packed like field and the stands, bringing in some like bigger music artists there. I think could be really cool. A summer, because we have Foster Park with the great amphitheater there,
right.
But like a unique special show, ticketed show, bring in people from honestly all over Indiana, maybe even the Midwest, hiring a big band to come in there could be a really cool thing.
We're working on it.
Love that.
Working on it. We've got the flooring, because the flooring that goes down in the wintertime underneath the ice rink for the frozen sand lot. So we've already got that invested. And I know, as I mentioned, some non-for-profits having fundraisers. They've had bands down on the field there at home plate as well for the folks that are attending that. So it's definitely In the works.
I'm looking forward to that. I want to see like Neil Diamond or something like that.
That
if
would
he's still
be awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a fun thing happening. Jackrabbits are coming back. Tell me, what does, having these awesome events, having the Jackrabbits, having the new thing about the Bobcats coming into town, which we'll talk about in a minute, because I know you're a big fan of that as well. But like, what do you think having these awesome recreational things, what does it do for a city? I mean, other than just a cool place to go, but like the morale, the personality of a city, what do you think it does?
I mean, it lifts it. I mean, especially coming out of this pandemic, folks are ready. I mean, the sun's shining this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, people are ready to get back out and get around each other. And so, having the Jackrabbits announcing that they're going to be back in season, which is great. Our summer concert series, we still did it last year, but had to push it back, but still offered that, where I don't know very many other communities around the state, took a chance and did it that
summer
right.
Concert, yeah.
And, so allowing that, you mentioned the Parks Department. I mean, Tori Rowe and the staff are on full throttle right now, getting the Kokomo Beach ready. That's going to be open in a couple weeks. The Coco Go Bikes, the free bike share program that you guys helped promote for the last couple of years or so. I mean, that's available and doing well. We've got a local establishment that is adding additional little summer concerts and series along the Riverwalk.
Yeah, the Riverwalk. Yeah,
the Riverwalk concert series.
Coterie,
at the Coterie.
That's good. That was so fun last year, and if you guys didn't go to one of those, you have to check it out this summer. There's a tiny little stage. Can you call it an amphitheater? I guess.
Yes,
a small amphitheater down by the Riverwalk, right behind Fox's Trail, and they brought in awesome lighting equipment, awesome sound equipment, and put on some really awesome shows down by the Riverwalk. And I'm telling you, you go sit down there, you watch a show, you don't feel like you're in the middle of Kokomo. You feel like I'm in Indy down at like the White River, type of thing. And that's something I feel like Kokomo's done a really great job of. You look at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, you look at the Riverwalk little amphitheater down there, easily you can say it's a mini version of Victory Field at the stadium. Easily you can say what we've built down there is a mini version of like the White River, lawn that they have down there where they do like really big shows. So shout out to Kyle Gibson, always trying to push Kokomo to do different, unique things. We love partnering up with them over at the Coterie, because if you're a person that says, I wish there was more live music in Kokomo, like stop, because there is always live music happening in Kokomo. And I'm not just talking about some local people get a band together and they play. Like the people that are playing at the Coterie almost every single weekend, the people that are going to be at this Riverwalk concert series, they played in Chicago the night before. They played in Indy the night before. Maybe they were in St. Louis. Like, they're legitimate music acts that are coming to Kokomo and really blessing us with their talents and everything going on. So stop the excuses. And that's something we're constantly trying to do here at the Kokomo Post, is to bust the myth that there's nothing going on in Kokomo, like live music or anything like that. So that's really exciting. But I agree. I think these awesome recreational things that happen in Kokomo, all it does is really boost the morale of the people in Kokomo. Honestly, we're here trying, like I said, bust that myth that there is nothing going on in Kokomo, but it really does make it such more of a community feel. And something recently that has really done that well is the Kokomo Bobcats.
Kokomo Bobcats.
Dear me.
Not outside, but holy cow.
It's so fun. If you guys haven't been to a game, they're playing at Memorial Gym. I know you've been to a lot of them, if not all of them. I know my family, we're obsessed. This is kind of my kids. My kids are older, 7 and 5, so they're kind of quarantine kids. They haven't done a lot publicly the last few years because of COVID and everything like that, but my kids are obsessed with the Bobcats games. One of my kids likes going and likes having fun with Bree's son, who's also at the games. Which you guys don't know, Bree from the Kokomo Post. She's the MC for the Bobcats.
The MC of the games.
She's freaking killing it. Oh my gosh. She's having a great time. But the Bobcats, holy moly, they've made a giant splash.
Absolutely.
And it's one thing that has really been as great as the team is, because if you guys haven't gone, it's really quality basketball. Any of these players on the Bobcats could get picked up by the NBA. Any of them. And I'm not exaggerating or just saying that to make them sound good. They're super talented basketball players that you can really tell by the speed of the game, the quality of the basketball is being played. But I mean, that's happening and made a huge splash right off the bat. Such a cool thing to go to. My wife is in no way a sports person. Like I have to really push her to enjoy watching sports with me. I'm a huge Michigan fan, as you guys might know if you've seen me or heard me talk. I love Michigan sports, Michigan football, and like she could just care less. She's just not a sports person. Her like gravestone will say "Go Sports" sarcastically.
So let the record reflect that she is nodding in agreement off camera.
She's also making sure I don't say anything mean. But moral of the story is she loves going to the Bobcat games. Mm-hmm. She loves going to those games, and it's so fun to watch her actually get into sports, as well as like 2,000 people in Memorial Gym just really get into it. It's really fun to watch. But one thing that's really been proven to me with the Bobcats, and this is why I missed the Jackrabbits so much last summer, we're a freaking sports town.
We are a sports town.
Kokomo, we love sports
and have embraced the Bobcats
in a huge way. The same way we have the Jackrabbits. High school sports, you go to Kokomo Memorial Gym for Kokomo High School game and IUK game. We love sports here in Kokomo. So that's why I think it's done so well. But I mean, I'm walking around town, I'm seeing Bobcats hoodies, I'm seeing hats, I'm seeing t-shirts. This first year for this team, we've accepted them right off the bat, and we love these guys.
Well, and part of I think the excitement out it is the fan experience. I mean, yes, the level of play. A lot of people say, okay, it's kind of like the Jackrabbits, and they're not. I mean, the Jackrabbits players are college age students, and I mean they're amazing athletes as well. But these Bobcat players are post collegiate professional athletes. Yeah. So this and Dave and Evelyn Megley, who are the owners, of the league of the league itself. I mean, explain that as well. I mean, or describe that as, the basketball league is a feeder into the NBA. Yeah. And so these guys are NBA level players. And what I keep hearing from fans here locally is that, okay, yeah, they expected, maybe a pickup game you might see down at Foster Park or something, but no, these guys are the real deal, and they bring the excitement, but just the fan excitement as well. I mean, you talk about Bree emceeing. I mean, if you go to a Pacer game, a Bulls game, whatever, you got the sights, the sounds, the shenanigans between quarters and such. It's all there. It's all part of it. And what the cool thing is, and what the Megleys impose upon their players, is that they become a part of the community. And so you hear guys, oh my gosh, I saw him at the Y, I saw him out at the restaurant. I mean, hopefully once the schools allow them, they start spending time in the schools or with the Bridges kids or urban outreach kids. I mean, so they are very much ingrained in the community. And kudos to Mark Jansen and Jeff Beeler. Yeah. I mean, who else better to have as the face of the team or the organization locally to drum up a lot of support and excitement than
and then Coach Cliff, two. Like, dear me,
Cliff Livingston.
Right? What a freaking awesome thing is that, to see a guy who's won 2 rings with the GOAT, Michael Jordan, to be in Kokomo. He's living in Kokomo. He is a Kokomoan now. This isn't a guy who lives in Indy who's driving to Kokomo to coach a team, right? Like, he is invested in Kokomo. He's living in Kokomo. An icon, anybody who's played with Jordan on those teams back in the day is such an icon in the game of basketball. And we've got him here in Kokomo. Yeah. And I think I've heard it's a 3-year deal as of right now.
And he legitimately loves the game, but loves just as much, if not more, seeing young players develop. Yeah. I mean, he is such a great fatherly figure to these guys and stuff, and keeps them on check. Oh yeah. I mean, you can see it in the huddle. I mean, he's not just there as a pretty face going, yeah, I was with the Bulls, and so come and support the Bobcats, come to the game. And no, I mean, he's invested. He is all in, and he's invested.
It's really cool. We've done some videos with the Bobcats through the Kokomo Post, and have you seen any of those? Yes. We're having fun. Bree, she does so well with them. They know her now well, and they tease back and forth. But the last one we did, which if you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. It's called "What's in the Box Challenge." And I don't want to give too much away, but if you're needing a laugh, go watch that video on our Facebook page. Look it up, because we had these 6'10", 7-foot, tough basketball guys shaking. They were so scared, and you have to watch it. Go check it out. It's a great video.
And I'm not going to hold any of them personally responsible for not remembering My Name is Mayor, because
that was also funny.
If it was a flip side of that and say, okay, let's go down the roster and see how many good players I'm starting the players with the numbers. I'm starting to learn their names. You're all right.
Starting to learn their names more. Like you said, though, I'm seeing them at Main Street Cafe. I'm seeing them at the Y. Like, they're here. Like, they're a part of Kokomo, and it's a really cool thing to see. So definitely go check out the Bobcats. I don't think they're home this weekend again. They're away, but before next weekend they're in. Also make sure to always be checking out the Facebook and Instagram page of the Kokomo Post, because we're giving away tickets to every single game that happens. So we want as many people to be able to go and experience this at Memorial Gym as possible, because it really is a great thing. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about today is a segment I want to do weekly. Like you kind of mentioned at the top, you're a big movie buff. You're a big, you said it, so I guess I will too.
Whenever I'm out talking to kids or organizations, like, okay, so what do you do when you're not, what do you like to do? What does that mean? I'm like, get me to a movie theater and a big barrel of popcorn, and I'm in heaven.
Yeah, my wife and I, my kid turned 5 back in March, and we rented an AMC theater, and we invited the family. We did like one of those private showings, and like just sitting in there, I missed it so much. Yep. But one of the things I want to do, and I want to call it just Movies with the Mayor, because you are such a movie buff. You're a geek, where you've watched so many more movies than I have probably, where every week I want you to recommend a movie to me, and honestly to the audience as well. And it's our homework to go watch that movie. And then next week's show, we'll come back. We'll talk about the movie a little bit. So,
well, I was surprised that you hadn't seen Greatest Showman yet. I mean, that's not going to be the movie this week.
We were talking about that before. Yeah,
I think you'll be singing at the next episode. I know you already are anyhow.
A little bit, yeah.
But oh my gosh,
so
Hugh Jackman, just a great
guy. But what is the movie going to be? What's my challenge? Give me my homework, and we'll come back next week and we'll talk about.
Okay, well, since this taping is in the wake of Mother's Day.
It is.
I went back to I'm an 80s kid. I grew up in the 80s. I'm a product of the 80s.
Sure.
And so I'm going to have to go with Mr. Mom, starring Michael Keaton.
A classic,
Mr. Mom. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I thought,
Mr. Mom,
because I started thinking of the podcast. I'm like, oh, what can I do? It's Mother's Day. Oh my gosh, Michael Keaton being forced to stay at home while his wife pursues her career, and him just. It's a classic.
That's
classic
interesting
comedy.
too. We'll talk about. Because obviously things have changed since the 80s, and more moms are working, in careers and things like that. So
and how many dads all of a sudden were working from home and had to help with the kids? You do a Zoom. It'd be interesting to see Mr. Mom 2.0, to see the COVID edition or whatever. To see,
love that.
Zooming without the pants on and the kids in the background and doing a lot of the same stuff that Keaton did.
Zooming without the pants on. We'll clip that, Michael. Clip that right there, so we'll get the mayor saying he zooms without pants on. We'll get that on the show. That's good. All right, so Mr. Mom, I might have to do some homework to try to find that. Do you have it? Do you own that movie?
I don't own it.
I was going to say I'll have to see if it's on Apple or something like that.
I did it one time. I had the VH tape.
Yeah,
but
I have no way of playing that. Yeah. All right, so I'll watch Mr. Mom, and then next week we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So Mr. Michael Keaton, I'm coming your way soon. But awesome. So thanks for doing this show.
Hey, my
episode
pleasure.
1. This is exciting. We're going to come back. Like I said, this is going to be a weekly show. Every Tuesday, this is going to come out. We're going to turn this around because we're recording in the morning. You guys will see it in the afternoon. Every Tuesday, you can expect a new episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show with Drew Larison. I've been thinking, like, you run a city, I run a company. We're going to have some good times on this.
Yes, we will. I appreciate it, man.
So thank you for watching or listening, whether you're on the podcast or you're watching the video. But thank you for watching. We will see you next Tuesday for another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show with the Kokomo Post.